have to understand clearly that we will talk about the what will be the hormones which are secreted by the parathyroid glands and how they will act. And before secretion, what will be the anatomy and physiology of the parathyroid glands? What will be the secretion secreted by the adrenal glands? Which type of the hormone is secreted by the adrenal glands, and what will be their function? These will be the objectives. And after teaching this topic, after completion of this topic, you will be able to understand about how these hormones will produce the action on the cells and their physiological responses. So that will be the learning objective of this topic. Now let us start the class. Now, partially embedded in the posterior surface of the lateral lobes. We are talking about the parathyroid glands. Parathyroid glands is partially embedded in the posterior surface of the lateral lobe of the thyroid glands or several small round masses of tissue that will be called the parathyroid glands. So we can understand the parathyroid glands. We are just posterior to the thyroid. You will see, you will already have seen in the structure. Now partially embedded in the posterior surface of the lateral lobe of the thyroid glands. जो thyroid glands होती है उसके बैक साइड में posterior surface पे ये partially embedded होती है, and these are act like the several small round masses of the tissue. Okay, so at the posterior side of the thyroid glands, you will see there is a several mass like structure of the tissue that will be called the parathyroid glands. Each has a mass of about 40 milligram, 0.04 gram. Usually one superior and one inferior parathyroid glands are attached to the each lateral thyroid lobes for a total of 4. So you will see there is a parathyroid gland is a 4. That means to superior and inferior, and you know the thyroid glands having the two wing like a structure, two lobe, left and right. So obviously the parathyroid gland will be positioned on the superior and inferior on the both side, left and right wings. So the one superior and one inferior parathyroid glands are attached to each lateral thyroid lobe, and that will be total counting is a 4. Now you will see here in these images the parathyroid glands, behind the thyroid glands trachea is there, right internal jugular vein, right common carotid artery, medial cervical sympathetic, middle cervical sympathetic ganglion, thyroid glands, right superior parathyroid glands, inferior cervicals, vagus nerve, right brachiocephalic veins, brachiocephalic trunk, trachea. These are the posterior view. You can see left superior parathyroid gland, esophagus, left inferior parathyroid gland, left inferior thyroid artery, left subclavian artery, left subclavian vein, and the left common carotid artery. So these will be the posterior regions. Okay. Now you will go for the size and location. After this images, that will be the posterior view where you can see in the parathyroid glands are situated behind the thyroid glands. You can see in the images that is on the left side, and that means if you are talking about the screen, then it will be the right side. Now you can see there is a parathyroid glands, green dot is there, that is a 4 green dot, and these parathyroid glands is just behind the thyroid glands. Okay, now in the posterior view you can very clearly mention here the 4 green dots, tissue masses of the tissue, Left superior parathyroid gland, the upper one, and the left inferior parathyroid gland, lower one, and simultaneously we see on the right side the right parathyroid glands and right inferior parathyroid glands. Now in size and location, it's a rear view. Pharynx, thyroid glands, parathyroid glands, esophagus and trachea. While in this trachea you can see this view, you can understand clearly there is a Adam's apple thyroid cartilage is there, thyroid gland is there, and parathyroid gland and the trachea or windpipe. Now, microscopically, the parathyroid glands contain the two kind of epithelial cell, the more numerous cell called chief cell. Okay, so the more numerous cell, it will be called the chief cell. Here you can say the principal cells that will produce the parathyroid hormone, also called the parathormone. So microscopically, if you want to see about the microscopic structure, so that images that is not able to see by the naked eye, that we must have seen by the some magnification or some adding of the some assistant like the microscope. So the microscopically, the parathyroid gland contains two kind of the epithelial cell, a chief cell, yeah, you can say the principal cell, and the oxyphil cells. Now, the chief cell or principal cell will produce the parathyroid hormones, PTH, short form, also called the parathormone. Okay, either you can say the parathyroid hormone. So, parathyroid gland will release the parathyroid hormone that is named the parathormone or PTH. The function of the other kind of cell called the oxyphil cell is not known. So we have seen the two numerous cells that will be present inside the parathyroid gland. One is the chief cell or principal cell, parathyroid hormone secreted, parathormone, and osteoclast forming cells. The specific action of PTS, अगर PTH की अगर हम बात करें, the specialized function for which the PTH will well known, that is to increase the number and activity of the osteoclast, a large multinucleated bone cell which absorb the bone tissue during the growth and healing. So the result is elevated bone resorption. Bone resorption is a bone tissue, that is the process by which osteoclast break down the tissue and bones and release the mineral, resulting in transfer of calcium from bone tissue to the blood. Now, that is the reason, no? Because it will mainly regulate the amount of calcium or these ions in the blood. And this is also a reason for the bone resorption. And the bone resorption, during the bone resorption, the process by which the osteoclast break down, जो bone cells होती हैं उनका breakdown होता है, वो टूटती हैं, and the tissue in the bone will release the minerals like the calcium, because we know the bone consists of calcium. So resulting that calcium is transferred from the bone to the blood, which release the ionic calcium and phosphate into the blood. And PTH also act on kidney. So here you can see how PTH will regulate the ion composition of the calcium or other ions in the blood, because PTH is by regulating the activity of osteoclast to increase the number of osteoclast. So these are the cell which are helping in the during the growth and healing of the bone, and the result is elevated bone resorption will be there. And if the bone resorption is there, then the breakdown of this osteoclast will be there. And if the osteoclast is going to break, then the bone will release their minerals like this calcium, magnesium, phosphate, and then these will go into the blood. And PTH is also act on kidney. First, it slows the rate at which calcium and magnesium are lost from blood into the urine. How it acts on the kidney? So you will see the parathyroid hormones, the first action, it slow the rate at which the calcium and magnesium are lost from blood into the urine. So by decreasing the rate lost from the blood into the urine. Second, it increase the loss of HPO42 from blood into the urine, because more HPO42 is lost in the urine than gained from the bones. So, secondly, Parathyroid hormone will increase the loss of HPO42 from blood into the urine. So जो blood से urine में loss हो रहा है इसको increase करेगा, because more HPO4 is lost in the urine than gained from the bone. So PTH decreases the blood HPO42 levels and increase the blood calcium and magnesium level. So a third effect of PTH on the kidney is to promote the formation of the hormone calcitriol, the active form of vitamin D. So you can see the parathyroid hormone is not only just maintaining these calcium, magnesium, iron levels, and it also work on the kidney. It also slow the rate of calcium and magnesium lost from blood into the urine. So when the calcium and magnesium are the lost from blood to the urine, it decrease the slow rate. So the calcium and magnesium are going to increase in the blood. It increase the HPO42 from blood into the urine. So there's the more HPO42 is lost in the urine than gained from the bones. So PTH decreases the blood HPO42 levels and increase the blood calcium and magnesium level. And the third effect is promote the formation of the hormone calcitriol, that will be the active form of vitamin D. Calcitriol, also known as 1,25-dihydroxy vitamin D3, increase the rate of calcium and HPO42 and magnesium absorption from the GIT tract into the blood. So calcitriol, we know the calcitriol, that is the active form of vitamin D. It is known as the 25-dihydroxy vitamin D3, and this will increase the rate of calcium, HPO42 and magnesium absorption from the GIT. So GIT is a calcium और magnesium के absorption में कौन help कर रहा है? Calcitriol, the active form of vitamin D. And the blood calcium level directly control the secretion of both calcitonin and parathyroid hormone via negative feedback loops that do not involve the pituitary glands. Now see the role of calcitonin. You can see that will be indicated by the green arrow, parathyroid hormone that will be indicated by the blue arrow, and calcitriol that will be indicated by the orange arrow in calcium homeostasis. So how can these help to regulate the calcium in the body? First, high level of calcium in blood stimulate the thyroid glands. So parafollicular cells to release the more calcitonin, more CT. Now here you can see high level of calcium in blood. If the calcium amount in the blood is going to increase, ब्लड में जब कैल्शियम की मात्रा बढ़ेगा तो ये थायराइड ग्लैंड को स्टिमुलेट करते हैं, द पैराफोलिकल सेल ऑफ द थायराइड ग्लैंड्स, एंड दीज सेल्स विल रिलीज द मोर कैल्सिटोनिन. द कैल्सिटोनिन रिलीज करेंगे थायराइड ग्लैंड्स. देन व्हाट विल हैपन? व्हेन द कैल्सिटोनिन विल बी रिलीज्ड, these calcitonin inhibit the osteoclast, thus decreasing the blood calcium level. So blood calcium level will increase because calcitonin will inhibit the osteoclast. अभी क्या हो रहा था? हाई लेवल ऑफ कैल्शियम, ब्लड में कैल्शियम की मात्रा बढ़ रही थी जिसने थायराइड ग्लैंड को स्टिमुलेट किया, और थायराइड ग्लैंड जैसे स्टिमुलेट होगा वो कैल्सिटोनिन रिलीज करेंगे बाय पैराफोलिकल सेल्स, और कैल्सिटोनिन क्या करेगा? इनहिबिट कर देगा ऑस्टियोक्लास्ट को. अगर ऑस्टियोक्लास्ट को इनहिबिट कर दिया so blood calcium level कम हो जाएंगे. Now if the blood calcium level is decreased, then low level of calcium in blood stimulate the parathyroid gland. अगर blood calcium level कम हो गया तो ये किसको एक्टिवेट करेगा? It will activate the parathyroid glands of the chief cell to release the parathormone. अभी पैराथॉर्मोन को रिलीज करवाएंगे. अब यहां से पैराथॉर्मोन का एक्शन स्टार्ट हो रहा है. Now these parathormones will released from the parathyroid glands. Now what will happen? So the parathyroid hormone will promote the release of calcium from bone extracellular matrix into the blood. पैराथायरॉयड हार्मोन क्यों एक्टिवेट हुआ? बिकॉज ब्लड में कैल्शियम लेवल कम हो रहा है. Now parathyroid hormone will maintain the calcium level by promoting the release of calcium from the bone and slow the loss of calcium in urine. यूरिन में कैल्शियम के लॉस को कम कर देंगे और बोन से कैल्शियम का प्रोडक्शन बढ़ा देंगे. एंड दे इंक्रीज द ब्लड कैल्शियम लेवल. और ये क्या करेंगे? ब्लड कैल्शियम लेवल को इंक्रीज कर देंगे. अगर ब्लड कैल्शियम लेवल को इंक्रीज कर दिया तो फिर से वही हाई लेवल ऑफ कैल्शियम ब्लड स्टिमुलेट थायराइड ग्लैंड को स्टिमुलेट करेगी. नाउ इट विल आल्सो act by PTH also stimulate the kidney to release the calcitriol. सिर्फ इतना ही नहीं, PTH also क्या करेगी, किडनी को स्टिमुलेट करेगी to release the calcitriol. So this calcitriol stimulate the increase of absorption of calcium from blood from the foods. Calcitriol, the active form vitamin D, will enhance the improve the absorption of calcium from the GIT from the foods, which also increase the blood calcium level. So फिर blood बढ़ जाएगा. So that will all the things will be regulation how the calcitonin, how the parathormone, how these will act on the body. चलिए मैं एक बार फिर से समझाता हूँ वेरी क्लियरली कि फोकस। सबसे पहले अगर ब्लड में कैल्शियम की मात्रा बढ़ेगा, द हाई लेवल ऑफ कैल्शियम इन ब्लड, अगर ऐसा हुआ तो दीज विल स्टिमुलेट द थायराइड ग्लैंड्स, आपके थायराइड ग्लैंड को स्टिमुलेट किया जाएगा और थायराइड ग्लैंड स्टिमुलेट होगी, थायराइड ग्लैंड क्या सीक्रेट करेगी, T3, T4 और कैल्सिटोनिन, ये तीन चीज सीक्रेट करती है थायराइड ग्लैंड्स में। थायराइड ग्लैंड विल सीक्रेट दीज थ्री थिंग्स, T3, T4 और कैल्सिटोनिन। बट हम बात कर रहे हैं ब्लड में कैल्शियम लेवल का बढ़ना। तो जब ब्लड में कैल्शियम का लेवल बढ़ेगा तो ये जो अकरेंस है, ये जो एपिसोड्स है, ये थायराइड ग्लैंड को स्टिमुलेट कर रही है। नाउ इफ द थायराइड ग्लैंड्स आर स्टिमुलेटेड, नाउ व्हाई स्टिमुलेटेड, बिकॉज द ब्लड calcium level is increased. So now these thyroid glands will secrete the calcitonin. अभी calcitonin secrete कर रहे हैं। अब calcitonin secrete हो गया, calcitonin क्या करेगा, calcitonin will inhibit the osteoclast. ये osteoclast को inhibit करेंगे जिससे फिर ब्लड में कैल्शियम का लेवल कम हो जाएगा, क्योंकि जैसे ही ऑस्टियोक्लास्ट को इनहिबिट करेंगे तो जो कि जो बोन से भी कैल्शियम्स आ रहे हैं वो बंद हो जाएंगे। सो ये क्या करेंगे, बाय इनहिबिटिंग द ऑस्टियोक्लास्ट दे डिक्रीज द ब्लड कैल्शियम लेवल, तो ब्लड कैल्शियम का लेवल कम हो गया। बात खत्म हो गई यहीं पे, क्योंकि ब्लड में कैल्शियम का लेवल बढ़ा तो उसने थायराइड ग्लैंड एक्टिवेट हुआ, कैल्सिटोनिन रिलीज किया, कैल्सिटोनिन ने ऑस्टियोक्लास्ट को इनहिबिट कर दिया, तो ब्लड में कैल्शियम का लेवल कम हो गया, डिक्रीज हो गया। बट इफ द ब्लड कैल्शियम लेवल इज गोना टू डिक्रीज, देन द पैराथायराइड ग्लैंड्स विल बी एक्टिवेटेड। जैसे ब्लड में कैल्शियम का लेवल कम हुआ तो अब कौन एक्टिवेट होगा, पैराथायराइड ग्लैंड्स एक्टिवेट हो जाएगी, क्योंकि पैराथायराइड ग्लैंड्स तुरंत आइडेंटिफाई करेगी देयर इज अ डिक्रीज इन द ब्लड कैल्शियम लेवल। नाउ द पैराथायराइड ग्लैंड्स विल एक्टिवेट, पैराथायराइड ग्लैंड जैसे ही एक्टिवेट होगी इट विल रिलीज द पैराथॉर्मोन फ्रॉम द चीफ प्रिंसिपल सेल ऑफ द पैराथायराइड ग्लैंड्स। तो उन्होंने पैराथॉर्मोन रिलीज कर दिया। अब पैराथॉर्मोन जैसे ही रिलीज होगा तो पैराथॉर्मोन का क्या काम है, पैराथॉर्मोन्स ब्लड में कैल्शियम का लेवल बढ़ाएगा, क्यों, बाय द बोन रिजॉर्प्शन प्रोसेस। Okay, it will promote the calcium from the bone extracellular matrix into the blood. तो पैराथॉर्मोन अब क्या करेगा, ब्लड में कैल्शियम के लेवल को मेंटेन करेगा, बढ़ाएगा। कैसे, दो तरीके से, बोन जो कैल्शियम है इन द बोन में एक्स्ट्रासेलुलर मैट्रिक्स में उसको रिलीज करेगा और ब्लड में भेज देगा। दूसरा, जो बोन कैल्शियम का लॉस हो रहा है यूरिन से उसको कम कर देगा, by slowing the loss of calcium in the urine, by slowing the loss of calcium in urine and by releasing the calcium from the bone extracellular matrix, it will increase the blood calcium level. So blood calcium level फिर से बढ़ा दिया गया। अब फिर से अगर blood calcium level बढ़ा दिया गया तो फिर से वही प्रॉब्लम, फिर से ब्लड में फिर से थायराइड ग्लैंड एक्टिवेट होगा, फिर से कैल्सिटोनिन रिलीज करेगा और एक कैल्सिटोनिन फिर से ऑस्टियोक्लास्ट सेल को इनहिबिट करेगी, फिर ब्लड लेवल कम हो जाएगा, फिर ब्लड लेवल कम हो जाएगा, फिर पैराथायराइड ग्लैंड एक्टिवेट हो जाएगा, फिर पैराथायराइड ग्लैंड एक्टिवेट होगा, फिर पीटीएच रिलीज होगा, फिर पीटीएच रिलीज होगा, देन अगेन पीटीएच विल एक्ट ऑन द सेम वे बाय रिड्यूसिंग द लॉस ऑफ कैल्शियम इन यूरिन एंड बाय प्रमोटिंग द कैल्शियम फ्रॉम द बोन एक्स्ट्रासेलुलर मैट्रिक्स इनटू द ब्लड, फिर से ब्लड के कैल्शियम लेवल बढ़ाएंगे। नॉट ओनली पीटीएच विल एक्ट ऑन ओनली डू दीज थिंग, पीटीएच सिर्फ इतना ही नहीं करती है कि वो बोन से एक्स्ट्रासेलुलर मैट्रिक्स से कैल्शियम को रिलीज कर रही है ब्लड में और यूरिन से कैल्शियम लेवल को लो कर रही है, इट विल आल्सो स्टिमुलेट द किडनी। जैसे मैंने पहले बात किया था, पीटीएच विल आल्सो एक्ट ऑन किडनी, सो पीटीएच विल आल्सो एक्ट ऑन द किडनी एंड रिलीज द कैल्सिट्रियोल, कैल्सिट्रियोल को रिलीज करेंगे और कैल्सिट्रियोल विल स्टिमुलेट द increased absorption of calcium from the GIT। जो GIT में हम फूड ले रहे हैं उसमें भी कैल्शियम है, तो GIT से कैल्सिट्रियोल फूड में से कैल्शियम लेगा और उसको ब्लड में डाल देगा। सो बाय बोथ वे the calcitonin, parathyroid hormones, and calcitriol. These all three are acting and regulating the calcium level inside the body. So this is the uh, function of the, you can say, calcitonin, parathyroid hormone, and calcitriol in the calcium homeostasis. Now you can see the function of parathyroid glands will produce the PTH to control the calcium within the blood to help maintain the strong bones. Then you can see you can already have to control the calcium within the blood to help them maintain the strong bones. Now hormones secreted from the parathyroid glands like PTH, you know, that is the secreted parathyroid hormone, parathormone, yeah. So these are the humoral stimuli, most important regulator of calcium homeostasis of the blood. Etiology की बात करें, hyperthyroidism, when the high amount of parathyroid glands secrete the parathormone. So overproduction of the cell secreting the PTH, parathyroid develops a tumor. Then the bone pain, depression, frequent urination, kidney stone, nausea, loss of appetite, bone में pain होंगे, depressions की problem, frequent urination, you will feel urge to urinate continuous, kidney stone, nausea, and the loss of appetite. You will loss of hunger will be there. Treatment is the option that we have removed the tumor surgically. Hypoparathyroidism की बात करें, it could be a family history, it could be autoimmune disorder, excessive radiation treatment, or low level of magnesium in the blood. Treatment की बात करें, restore the calcium and mineral balance in the body, because hypo, the level is low, so we have to maintain the level of the calcium. And take the vitamins with calcium and vitamin D. Pathogenesis की बात करें तो heavier periods in the females, problem will be arised, cataract will be there, tingling sensation will be there, muscle spasm, dry hair, skin, brittle nails, weakened tooth, and enamel in the kids. Osteoporosis is a very familiar word. Osteo means bones and porosis means pores, small holes, very fine holes, chidra. Osteoporosis, you can see the structure of the bone because these bones having the osteoporosis. Loss of calcium, यदि कैल्शियम की लॉस हो जाए बॉडी में से, या टू मच पैराथायराइड हार्मोन, अगर पैराथॉर्मोन बहुत ज्यादा अमाउंट में हो जाए, so the osteoporosis will be there. Pathogenesis की बात करें तो thin bones breaks and fracture easier, because if the bone is having osteoporosis problem, then the bone is very fragile and it could be easily to break, easily to fracture. Loss of energy, feel old, bones hurt, and the treatment is remove the bad parathyroid glands. Parathyroid cancer की बात करें तो etiology is the out of control of PTH production, when the PTH is going to out of control and produces the parathormone. It could be a family history or it could be the hyperparathyroidism. Pathogenesis में weakness, lumpy neck, trouble swallowing, loss of appetite, and unquenchable thirst. Treatment की बात करें तो surgery and the radiation therapy will be there. Another hormones, another glands we will now discuss is adrenal glands. You know, two parts, cortex and medulla, that will secrete the lots of the hormone from the adrenal glands, corticosteroid, mineralosteroid, glucocorticoids, mineralocorticoids, like that. Adrenaline, non-adrenaline. Okay. So see the paired adrenal glands, yeah, suprarenal glands, you can see. One of which lies superior to the each kidney in the retroperitoneal space, has a flattened pyramidal shape. So what will the location of the these adrenal glands? Superior to the kidney. In an adult, each adrenal gland is 3 to 5 centimeter in height, 2 to 3 centimeter in width, and a little less than 1 centimeter thick, with a mass of 3.5 to 5 gram, only half its size at birth. The paired adrenal glands की बात करें, which lies on the superior to each kidney, have a flattened pyramidal shape. In an adult की बात करें, Each adrenal gland is 3 to 5 centimeter in height, 2 to 3 centimeter in width, height 3 से 5 centimeter, width 2 से 3 centimeter, and thickness is less than 1 centimeter, and mass is about 3.5 to 5 gram, only half its size at birth. During embryonic development, the adrenal gland differentiate into two structurally and functionally distinct regions. A large peripheral located adrenal cortex comprising 80 to 90% of the gland, a small centrally located adrenal medulla. So adrenal glands having the two region, adrenal cortex and adrenal medulla. Cortex, who is occupied the 80 to 90% of the glands, while other parts is occupied by the medulla. Now you can see in the structure, it's just above the kidney, the superior to the kidney, left adrenal gland is there and right adrenal gland is there. And right superior suprarenal artery, you can see inferior phrenic artery will be there, a celiac trunk will be there, left middle suprarenal artery. These are the artery which supply the blood. A connective tissue capsule cover the gland. A connective tissue capsule which cover the glands, adrenal glands. The adrenal glands, like the thyroid glands, are highly vascularized. It is also having the blood vessels, like suprarenal artery we can see. The adrenal cortex produces the steroid hormone that are essential for life. Now we know the cortex area. The adrenal cortex produces the steroid hormone that are essential for life. Complete loss of adrenocortical hormone leads to the death due to the dehydration and electrolyte imbalance in a few days to week. If we lost the adrenal gland, if adrenal gland is not able to perform their function, then the person will be dead within a week, because their body is going to dehydration and the electrolyte imbalance. So unless hormone replacement therapy begins promptly, so until we are not able to give the hormone replacement therapy, the adrenal medulla produces three catecholamine hormones. Medulla, cortex. Two reason is there in the adrenal glands. Cortex will release the steroid hormones. Medulla, who are releasing the catecholamines like adrenaline, noradrenaline, and a small amount of dopamine. You can say norepinephrine, epinephrine, and dopamine. The adrenal cortex is subdivided into three zones, and each of which secrete the different hormone. एड्रिनल कॉर्टेक्स की बात करें जो सब डिवाइडेड हो रहे हैं इनटू 3 जोन्स में and which will secrete the different hormones. The outer zone, just deep to the connective tissue capsule, is the zona glomerulosa. Its cells, which are closely packed and arranged in spherical cluster and arced columns, secrete the hormone called the mineralocorticoid because they are affect the mineral homeostasis. Cortex will produce the steroid hormone, and steroid hormone will gonna do important for the body for maintaining the homeostasis also. Now you can see there this cortex area is divided into three regions. The most outer, that is the zona glomerulosa, the outer zone will release the mineralocorticoids that will act on the mineral homeostasis. The middle zona or zona fasciculata is the widest of the three zones of the consist of cell arranged in long straight columns. जो middle portion है zona fasciculata, जो सबसे widest part भी है इन तीनों जोन में से, consist of cell arranged in long straight columns, and these cells of the zona fasciculata secrete mainly glucocorticoids. Mainly क्या secrete करेंगे ये glucocorticoids. So we have seen zona glomerulosa जो मिनरलोकॉर्टिकॉइड सिक्रीट कर रही है, जोना fasciculata जो ग्लूकोकॉर्टिकॉइड सिक्रीट कर रही है, because these affect on the glucose homeostasis. And the cell of the inner zone, that will be known as the zona reticularis, arranged in the branching cords, they synthesize a small amount of the weak androgens, steroid hormone, that have masculizing the effect. So mineralocorticoids is secreted, glucocorticoids is secreted, and androgen is secreted by the three different regions of the cortex. That will be zona glomerulosa, which secrete mineralocorticoids, zona fasciculata, which will secrete the glucocorticoids, and the zona reticularis, which will secrete the androgen hormones. Now, in this image, you can see mineralocorticoids, or you can say the aldosterone, is the major mineralocorticoids. It regulates the homeostasis of two mineral ions, namely the sodium ion and potassium ion, and help to adjust the blood pressure and blood volume. So, regulation of aldosterone secretion by the renin-angiotensin pathway. What will happen when the dehydration or sodium deficiency or hemorrhage will be there? If there is a dehydration or sodium deficiency will be occurred, or a hemorrhage occurred, that means the blood volume is going to decrease. Second point, the decrease in the blood volume. Then decrease in the blood pressure, so blood pressure will be down. Okay. So if there is any dehydration is there, sodium deficiency is there, or hemorrhage is there, or blood loss is there, that will decrease the blood volume. If the blood volume is decreased, the blood pressure will be decreased, and if the blood pressure will decrease, it will stimulate the kidney to the juxtaglomerular cells to release the renin. सो अगर ब्लड प्रेशर कम हो गया तो ये क्या रिलीज करेंगे, रेनिन को रिलीज करेंगे, कौन, किडनी. द juxtaglomerular cell of the kidney will release the renin enzyme. Now this renin will convert the angiotensin which are produced by the liver into angiotensin first. Angiotensin first is going to convert into angiotensin second by the enzyme, angiotensin converting enzyme, which are secreted by the lungs. Now, this angiotensin second is a potent vasoconstrictor. So, vasoconstriction of arterioles will be there. So, this angiotensin second will increase the blood level. Okay. So, it will increase the constriction of the blood vessels, artery, and the blood pressure will be increased until it returns to the normal. Also, this angiotensin second will act on the adrenal cortex and increase the aldosterone. So this angiotensin second, also it will convert into angiotensin third. But here you can see the angiotensin second acting by the increasing the vasoconstriction as well as by secreting the aldosterone. And aldosterone is only secreted from the, because aldosterone is the mineralocorticoids. It is secreted by the adrenal cortex. So this will stimulate the adrenal cortex, which will secrete the aldosterone. If the aldosterone is secreted, then what will happen? In kidney, increase the sodium and water resorption and increase the secretion of potassium and hydrogen into urine. So sodium and water resorption will be there and secretion of potassium and hydrogen into the urine. So the blood volume will be increased. If the blood volume will be increased, then the blood pressure will be maintained. And by these things, increased potassium in the extracellular fluid will be there also. So you can see how the mineralocorticoids will work, how it will be involved in the renin-angiotensin system. सबसे पहले यदि डिहाइड्रेशन की प्रॉब्लम होती है या सोडियम की डिफिशियंसी हो जाए बॉडी में या हैमरेज हो जाए, तो इन सारे केसेस में क्या होते हैं, ब्लड वॉल्यूम कम हो जाएगा, डिक्रीज इन द ब्लड वॉल्यूम. सो ब्लड वॉल्यूम कम हो जाएगा, ब्लड वॉल्यूम कम होगा, ब्लड प्रेशर कम हो जाएगा. तो ब्लड प्रेशर जब कम होगा तो किडनी की जो जेरिल सेल्स हैं वो एक्टिवेट हो जाएंगी और रेनिन रिलीज करेंगी. सो बाय इंक्रीज द रेनिन इट विल कन्वर्ट द एंजियोटेंसिनोजोन टू एंजियोटेंसिन फर्स्ट एंड देन एंजियोटेंसिन फर्स्ट कन्वर्ट इनटू एंजियोटेंसिन सेकंड बाय द ACE enzyme, and this second will lead to the bronchoconstriction, vessel constriction, that is causes the constriction of the arteries, and this will causes increase in the blood pressure. So you will hear that blood pressure is increased by the another mechanism. It will stimulate the adrenal cortex, release the aldosterone, and this aldosterone is causes sodium and water retention, so the PP can be maintained. Glucocorticoids की बात की जाए, so the glucocorticoids which regulate the metabolism and resistance to the stress, including cortisol, hydrocortisone will be there, corticosterone will be there, and cortisone will be there. So corticosterone and cortisone of these three hormone, cortisol जिसको hydrocortisone, corticosterone and cortisone. These three hormones secreted by the zona fasciculata. And cortisol is the most abundant, accounting for about 99% of the glucocorticoid activity. So the negative regulation of the glucocorticoid activity will be there. So if some stimulant disrupt the homeostasis and decreasing the glucocorticoid level in the blood, और blood में glucocorticoids के level को कम कर दें, जिसमें cortisol है, hydrocortisones, corticosterone and cortisone. Then receptor will send the signal to the motor center in the interior pituitary, corticotropes, interior pituitary, increase the CRH and decrease the cortisol. Then output will be effector on the cell of zona fasciculata in the adrenal cortex, secreted the glucocorticoids will be there, and it will be increase the glucocorticoids. Adrenal medulla में देखे the inner region of the adrenal gland, the adrenal medulla is a modified sympathetic ganglion of the autonomic nervous system, ANS. It develops from the same embryonic tissue as all the sympathetic ganglia, but its cell, which lack the axon from cluster around the large blood vessels. Rather than releasing a neurotransmitter, the cell of the adrenal medulla secrete the hormones. The hormone-producing cell called chromaffin cells are inverted by the sympathetic preganglionic neurons of the ANS because the autonomic nervous system exerts the direct control over the chromaffin cells, and the hormone release can occur very quickly. The two major hormones synthesized by the adrenal medulla are the epinephrine and norepinephrine, that are the catecholamines. You can say the epinephrine is also called the adrenaline, and norepinephrine is also called the noradrenaline. The chromaffin cell of the adrenal medulla secrete an unequal amount of these hormone, about 80% epinephrine and 20% norepinephrine. मतलब these chromaffin cells in the adrenal medulla will secrete the 80% of the adrenaline and 20% of norepinephrine. Unlike the hormones of the adrenal cortex, the hormone of the adrenal medulla are not essential for life, since they only intensify the sympathetic response in other parts of the body. Just like we have seen, the steroid hormone is very important for the life. Without steroid hormone, we will not survive a week. But unlike the hormone adrenal cortex, the hormone of adrenal medulla are not essential for life, but they only intensify the sympathetic response. So yes, it is also important in other parts of the body. These two hormones greatly augment the fight or flight response. That means when we fear or when we to fight someone, so at that time these hormone will be secreted in the body. By increasing the heart rate and force of contraction, epinephrine and norepinephrine increase the output of the heart, which increase the blood pressure. They also increase the blood flow to the heart, liver, skeletal muscle, and adipose tissue, dilate the airway to the lungs, and increase the blood levels of glucose and fatty acids. You can see these are the hormone sources: mineralocorticoids, mainly aldosterone from zona glomerulosa shoal. You can see there's the three zona glomerulosa, and the two other was the zona fasciculata and zona reticularis. So mineralocorticoids is there, which increase the blood potassium level, and angiotensin second stimulates secretion. In principal action is the increase the blood level of sodium, and water decrease the blood level potassium. Glucocorticoids की बात करें, that will release from the zona fasciculata cell. Okay, so mineralocorticoid is there, glucocorticoid is there, mainly cortisol from zona fasciculata cell, which ECTH stimulate the release. We have seen the androgens is there, mainly dehydroepiandrosterone or DHEA from zona reticularis cell, and then adrenal medulla having the epinephrine and norepinephrines. Now these are the quiz for the today class. Blood calcium level are controlled by the hormone from which structure? Blood calcium level. We know the blood calcium level is regulated by the parathyroid glands, parathormone. Also thyroid gland that will release the calcitonin. So yes, answer is correct. By what term are hormones derived from tyrosine also known? The hormone derived from tyrosine also known: amino acid derivative, peptide hormones, steroid hormone, corticosteroid. So no, we know corticosteroids is incorrect, steroid hormone is also incorrect, peptide hormone is also incorrect. So the correct answer is amino acid derivative. By what other name is adrenaline also known? Adrenaline will also call the epinephrine. We know about it. So yes, answer B is correct. The hormone known as catecholamines, that will adrenaline and noradrenaline and dopamine, are not lipid soluble. Therefore, their receptor sites are on the inside of the plasma membrane, on the outside of the plasma membrane, in the cytoplasm, in the nucleus cell. We know catecholamines like the adrenaline and noradrenaline or dopamine, if these are the not lipid soluble, that means they cannot penetrate the plasma membrane because they are made up of the phospholipid, made up of the phospholipid. So obviously the receptor must be outside of the plasma membrane, so they can bind and uh, perform their action. So yes, and option B on the outside of the plasma membrane is the correct answer. Which of the following may be said of the renal medulla? renal medulla में इसमें से कौन सी सही बात है? Which of the following may be said? renal medulla के लिए हम कह सकते हैं it is the more superficial part of the kidney. Renal medulla, it contains all of the glomeruli. It produces the adrenaline and noradrenaline. It contains the pyramids and column. We know it contains the pyramids and column. Answer D is correct. Which one of the following is a vasodilator? Vasodilator इसमें से कौन सा है? Atrial natriuretic peptide ANP, angiotensin second, epinephrine, and increase in sympathetic impulse. We know the angiotensin second will causes the potent vasoconstrictor. Epinephrine or adrenaline will causes also increase the heart rate, increases the blood pressure. Atrial natriuretic peptide, it can causes the vasodilator. So answer A is correct. With respect to adrenaline and noradrenaline, which of the following is true in the respect of epinephrine and norepinephrine? Or you can say adrenaline and noradrenaline. Relax smooth muscle resulting in dilation of the airway. Contract smooth muscle resulting in constriction of the airway. Relax smooth muscle resulting in constriction of the airway. Have no effect on bronchiole. So we know the adrenaline and noradrenaline will relax the smooth muscle resulting in dilation of the airway. So answer A is correct. Which hormone increase the reabsorption of calcium from the filtrate in the kidney tubules? Which hormone will help to increase the reabsorption of the calcium? When the kidneys want to filter and the filtrate will, yeah, you can say the renal fluids will contain lots of the ions in which hormone is responsible for the reabsorption of the calcium? Calcitonin, mineralocorticoids, parathyroid hormone, aldosterone. So we know the parathyroid hormone, which increases the absorption of calcium from the filtrate in the kidney tubule. So parathyroid hormone is a correct answer. That will be known as the parathormone, PTH. Which hormone are produced by the adrenal medulla? Medulla will produce two hormone, adrenaline and noradrenaline. But you can see there is no option for adrenaline and noradrenaline. Gonadotropin is there. It is incorrect. Steroid hormone is also incorrect. Mineralocorticoids is also incorrect, right? But catecholamines is adrenaline and noradrenaline. So yes, answer D is correct. To which group of hormone does aldosterone belong? Aldosterone belongs from the mineralocorticoids, we know. So answer C is correct here. Now these are the reference. These are the several reference book. Tortura, Bill Melinda, Robin Scott Tron's White Kings, and the one link is there for innerbody.com. You can also go through the Ross and Wilson for the hormones. Hormones